because his footwork was spot on as well, in and out. He was moving in and out at speed, landing the shots and moving away. And if he can stick to them tactics, yeah, he's going to take some beating.
Here we go with the next then. Poland's Dawid Jagodziński. Jagodziński making his way into the red corner.
In the 22-year-old representing Bulgaria, Tinko Banabakov.
Bulgaria's Tinko Banabakov will be his opponent. Already been a busy man in 2015, the 21-year-old. And part of that outstanding European Championship Bulgarian team. This is one pretty tight on paper in terms of the rankings. Banabakov will fancy to win it. And the other boxers coming into the other ring. And there'll be British interest here. Harvey Horn up against Vasily Igorov, the number 4 seed in the championship. So we'll keep you posted on what happens over there.
The judges assigned to ring A are now displayed on the scoreboard.
And British fans. Here we are, though, in ring A, which
representing Mongolia is
and the bouts that we're covering throughout the afternoon session. The second of 10 bouts that we have for you live from Doha, and it's Jagodziński against Banabakov. Referee checking the gloves and calling both boxers forward. And here we go. Jagodziński punched his corner post with intent as he comes out for this opening round. Very different physiques, I think, to the two boxers we've just seen, David, already in the ring.
Yeah, the Bulgarian Banabakov is obviously the tall, slim boxer, stand-up boxer with typical textbook style. And Jagodziński's not much different. He's just a little bit shorter. He's trying to move his head as he marches forward to give Banabakov something to think about.
And Banabakov, so far, is managing to get himself out of range. Jagodziński's just reaching with his punches, and he can't quite close the gap yet.
Yeah, Banabakov's just taking that backward step to get himself out of range.
Yeah, that cute, short little counter punch. Not much sort of weight in them, but neat little counter punch. What's the problem? Has he got a gum shield? Or a cut? Yeah, a slight nick on the left eye already. Well, that's the last thing he needed. Didn't see too much blood. It's an early issue for Banabakov. And there you see, oh, what a moment for Ladin. What a moment for a young man.
That's brilliant. That's fantastic. He must be absolutely over the moon. Not only is he just produced a performance and took the #1 seed out, but now he's standing next to his hero.
Well, listen, you and I would love to be in that position, to have a photo or an autograph, never mind a fellow countryman. Fantastic. Absolute once-in-a-lifetime stuff, that, for Ladin, and he produced the performance of his life to progress to the next round. Having a good look at this cut, meanwhile, here in bout 2. I think they're okay. They're actually allowing the cut man to work on it.
Yeah, it's a concern for Banabakov because the contest's only about 30 seconds old, and so it was off a straight left.
It was a punch.
Yeah, from Jagodziński.
There he goes again, trying to close the gap, and he's like a shark. He almost smells the blood. Jagodziński. He's up against a guy with talent as well. Let's not forget, Banabakov was one of those 4 medalists at the European Championships. He was one of the 3 that got bronzes. So he's a progressing fighter at the age of 21. He'd be fancied to win this one.
Yeah, he's going to have to keep moving on his feet for the whole 3 minutes of the round, because Jagodziński is just waiting for him to set his feet and then he can let his own shots go. But while he's moving, he's less likely to be caught.
Nice to see Jagodziński trying to come forward behind the jab. He's closing the gap, but he is throwing a jab in between.
Yeah, I like that about him. He's stepping in behind a pretty solid jab. And obviously the straight left caught Banabakov earlier on.
Banabakov's trying to counter punch. He's just taking that little step back, throwing the short counter punches. Not much behind them, but enough to score.
Yeah, Banabakov, he's strictly a boxer. He doesn't look like the strong type. So his boxing skills are what have got him the medals in the past, and that's what he's working on in this contest. He's boxing well off the back foot.
He's been a busy boy already. In 2015, he's been to 6 different tournaments. He didn't manage to win one of them earlier on this year.
Jagodziński's going to become frustrated with this movement from Banabakov, because he hasn't stopped moving his feet for the whole round.
Sort of little scoring punches from Banabakov, but intense pressure coming from Jagodziński, and it's Jagodziński who is rewarded by the judges.
Yeah, I think what we've seen so far, Alex, is that the judges do prefer the aggression of the come forward boxer. When you think about the contest with Adam Nolan in last night, that was another example, and I think that's what the judges may prefer at this level.
And is that the sort of thing that teams and the coaches on teams will be aware of and necessarily sort of cut their cloth or adopt styles for their fighters as a tournament develops?
Oh yeah, they'll obviously be aware and have their own opinions on what the judges prefer. And yeah, they'd have to adjust accordingly, because they want results at the end of the day. But Banabakov's never going to be a come-forward fighter. I think we've established that by the first round, unless he does something completely different, and it'd surprise me to see that.
And I think if you're Jagodziński or you're in the Polish corner, you'd probably say, you know, Banabakov is sort of flicking out punches. Just try and, if you can, try and close the gap and walk through him. Just to land your own.
Yeah, walk through him. But because Banabakov's moving from left to right so much, then he's having to chase him, and he's gone before the chance to set his feet and let his own shots go like that. So it is frustrating for Jagodziński, but he took the first round on the judges' card, so.
Well, that's a good strong jab as well from the pull.
That's what he needs to do, step in behind that jab. Like he is. Good work from Jagodziński.
He looks like he's getting more confident all the while, the Polish fighter. He got to the quarterfinals of the European Championships in the summer. He actually lost to Harvey Horn, who's in action in the other round as we speak against the number 4 seed.
Banabakov has got really good footwork. He's got good judgment of distance. He just hasn't got enough strength.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. He's only 21, he's quite tall. Whether he'll sort of grow into that, maybe develop into a flyweight and beyond in time.
Yeah, I think he probably ends up a bantamweight eventually, or he's got the height and he can fill out into that frame.
That was a lovely uppercut.
Yeah, he's landing good, clean shots, but the question is, are the judges seeing them, or do they prefer, like we said, preferring the come-forward aggression of Jagodziński?
He's landed a few more punches in this round, Banabakov. Whether it's enough.
Yeah, I think power and force behind the punch as well comes into play in the judges' eyes. If there's a lot of force behind the punch, then they're more likely to declare it a scoring punch. But if they're just flicked out, then they're likely going to ignore some of them.
Well, the winner of this bout will face Rogan Ladden, who's already created a bit of a stir by knocking out the #1 seed. And what we've seen so far, you'd fancy Ladden to beat either of these.
Yeah, that was a good right hand there from Banabakov. Rogan Ladden would much more prefer to face Jagodziński, in my opinion, because I think he's made for Ladden. Whereas Banabakov can make things awkward for anyone because he moves well. He's moving from left to right on the ropes all the time. He doesn't keep still, and it's difficult to pin down.
Well, that top half of the draw is starting to take shape as well. Ladden's already through, faces the winner of this one. Gankiag is already through, faces the winner of Horn Igorov, which is going on. And Horn and Igorov, I mean, that's a really interesting one going on simultaneously. If you see some of the highlights, I mean, talk about the luck of the draw, because those are two boxers who very much fancied to win the tournament full stop.
Yeah, and they've met early on. That's what makes this tournament so interesting.
Yeah, one of them goes out, the #1 seed's already gone out. Suddenly, in this light flyweight division, things have opened up, and what an opportunity for some of the unheralded boxers, the lesser seeds, the unknowns, to suddenly make a name for themselves and grab a medal, if not the big one, the gold.
Round 3.
Here we go then, into the third and final round, and that was another good round for Jagodziński. You've seen up on your screens, he's won both rounds on all 3 judges' scorecards so far.
Sorry, Alex, just noticed a great left hook landed by Banabakov there, and he just landed the uppercut. For me, Banabakov could argue he's winning this contest, because not many clean shots have landed at all from Jagodziński.
We talked about this before, didn't we, about the illusion or the appearance of, or how a fight looks like it's going. Sometimes body language and positivity plays a big part.
Yeah, if someone's coming forward, it looks like they're winning the fight, but if you look a bit further into it, you'll see that if you could appreciate the movement from Banabakov and the clean shots he's landing. And now he's coming forward and pushing Jagodziński back a little.
A nice little short body shot with the right hand there from Banabakov.
He's taking centre ring now, which instead of moving away all the time, which is better to see. Good counter right hand again there from Banabakov. So this is his best round so far.
Better round for Tinko Banabakov. Too little, too late, though. Is this a style he could have developed in the first round? Would have made a difference?
Yeah, I think it would have. I think it definitely would have, because obviously the come forward style of Jagodziński has caught the judges' eyes, and it will be interesting to see how they score this round if it continues the way it's going. I think Banabakov's boxed really well, to be honest. I think he'll be disappointed.
Nice little left hook there from the Bulgarian. It's a shame it's just not a bit more pop in his punches. I think it'd make all the difference to him as a competitor.
Yeah, I think he could do with going on a good strength program to develop his strength, build some power.
Maybe a big bowl of porridge like you enjoyed this morning might be the answer. Here we go then, closing seconds of this third round. There's the final bell. It was a good response from Banabakov, it really was. He put everything together there, but it looks like it may not quite be enough, David.
No, it's not going to be enough to win the contest after losing the first 2 rounds on the judges' scorecards. But that left hook was a great shot. I really do think he performed well there, Banabakov, but his style just wasn't enjoyed by the judges at ringside. So We'll see what his reaction's like, because he may well have thought he won that contest.
And we'll have the result for you. That cut earlier and treatment early in the first round slightly delayed this bout beyond the other contest that was taking place simultaneously over in Ring B. That one's finished. We'll bring you the result shortly. Here we have official confirmation of this one.
In Ring A, the winner on points from the red corner, representing Poland, Dawid Jagodziński.
So you can obviously see Jagodziński's even surprised he won that.
Jagodziński, the winner then, and that's a mini upset on a day of upsets in Ring A and the light flyweight division. The number 1 seat's gone, and there are some 20 AIBA rankings between this pair. The lower ranked Jagodziński just creeps inside the top 10, top 50 I should say. He's gone out. Meanwhile, Manny Pacquiao